Lancia Appia C10 1953–1956. The Lancia Appia is a passenger car introduced in 1953 by Italian car manufacturer Lancia as a replacement for the Ardea, and which remained in production for 10 years. The Appia was the last in a long line of Lancia production cars dating back to the Lancia Lambda, introduced in 1922, to use sliding pillar front suspension. All three series produced had a 1089cc Lancia V4 engine. In addition to the saloon, a number of special-bodied Appias were produced, including a coupe by Pininfarina, a convertible and two-door saloon by Vignale and an aluminum-bodied GT by Zagato, as well as light commercial vehicle variants. In total 107,000 Appia were built, 98,000 saloons, 3,863 commercial vehicles, and 5,161 chassis supplied to coach builders. In 1950 Lancia had introduced its first all-new post-war model, the Lancia Aurelia, a small but expensive luxury car with sophisticated engineering features like the first ever V6 engine, inboard rear brakes and a transaxle gearbox. Alongside it Lancia was still producing the Lancia Ardea, a pre-war design that although once innovative was in need of replacement. The new small Lancia was designed under engineer Vittorio Gino. Initially an updated version of the Ardea's 17 degrees V4 engine was considered, but a clean sheet design was ultimately chosen. At little over 10 degrees, the new V4 had the narrowest angle of any V4 engine, and used solutions unprecedented at Lancia, like dual in-block camshafts in place of overhead ones. As the Ardea resembled a scaled-down Aprilia, the Appia mimicked the Aurelia's appearance, substituting its exotic parts with more cost-effective ones, such as a solid axle and a 4-speed gearbox in block with the engine. For its mechanical features, sliding pillar front suspension, V4 engine, rear-wheel drive, absence of a center pillar, the Appia can be considered the last in a line of Lancias which stretched back to the 1922 Lambda. Following a custom started in the post-war years, the new model was named after a Roman consular road, the Appian Way. The Appia Berlina, saloon/sedan, was introduced in April 1953 at the Turin Motor Show. The chassis code is C10 for the right-hand drive saloon, the standard version, as was customary at Lancia, and C10S, from Sinistra, Italian for left, for the left-hand drive variant, available on request. Under the Appia's bonnet there is a 38 PS 1.1-liter engine, which according to the manufacturer could push the car to 120 km per hour, 75 miles per hour. The body style is similar to the Lancia Aurelia. To save weight the doors and rear fenders of the first few thousand examples were aluminium. The bumpers were also aluminium, making them easily dented. Rubber stripping was added later, to protect them from minor impacts. In a design inaugurated by the 1933 Lancia Augusta, rear doors were aft-hinged suicide doors, eliminating the B-pillar. A spare tire, the fuel filler and the battery were located in the trunk, boot. The interior featured bucket front seats, a column-mounted shifter, ivory plastic steering wheel and switches, and panel Lancia wool cloth upholstery in gray or beige. Running on 155 HR15 Pirelli Cinturato tires. In total 20,025 first series saloons were made, from 1953 to 1956. Of these, the majority, 10,257, were right-hand drive, and the remaining 9,768 left-hand drive. The Appia sold in smaller numbers than projected. In 1956, Italian car magazine Quattro attributed this to the price competition from the Fiat 1100 103 and Alfa Romeo Giulietta, and a host of minor flaws, for example, the aluminium bumpers, which however were shared with early Aurelias, indicating a hasty, low-priority development when Lancia was diverting many of its limited resources to its sports car racing efforts.